for our government, for our opposition, for our diplomats, is how we can be good and honest brokers and agents and deliverers in that business of hope. And this is important because the worst thing that can happen to 21st century Indonesians is to live in a strong democracy with weak ideals, or to live in a rich country with poor people, or to achieve progress but lose our soul. And that is why I always say to young people in every campus that I go to my young politician friends, to my own brother who is joining politics, and to my colleagues at work, you will go nowhere in life if you dig yourself into the trench of the old politics of this country. 21st century Indonesians must have the courage and creativity to push the boundaries, to break down walls, seek new ways of thinking, and complete our transformation. And as a diplomat, the last 6 years have also been the most remarkable in my 23 years of diplomatic career at DepLu. You know, it's a time when independent and active foreign policy must adapt to a new world. It's an opportunity for diplomatic innovation, to reform our international identity, to change the way we communicate with the world, and to reposition ourselves in this new world. We're also evolving a new worldview. We are becoming a different nation now, with a different role, with different assets functioning in a different world. And that is why we have come up with new concepts in the last 4 or 5 years. Concepts such as million friends and zero enemy. Concepts like all directions foreign policy, soft power. Concepts like navigating in turbulent ocean, and so on. 21st century Indonesians have a greater ability than ever to shape the world. Through ASEAN, we can make this region a zone of peace and stability. Through the G20, we can help reform the economy. Through the UN, we can change the international system and make international cooperation the norm. We can protect our forests to serve the needs of the planet and humanity. We can bridge between Islam and the West and create harmony among civilizations. We can promote democracy within and between nations. We can help resolve conflicts in Lebanon, in Palestine, in other places. And we can promote a newer global conscience, which can be the new commodity in international relations. President SBY has made many foreign policy statements, but I think the most important that he said, and people tend to miss it, is when he said that our international engagement makes us stronger, better, and safer. And I repeat, our international engagement makes us stronger, better, and safer. And I think this is important because it reflects a nationalism that is connected to a strong sense of internationalism. And if our politicians really digest this, if our diplomats really believe and practice this, then our independent and active foreign policy will flourish. As I end this job, 6 years at the Presidential Palace, perhaps the best job that I have ever had, and move on to the next diplomatic post, I've been asked, what would you tell the world, Dino? This is what people at the Parliament hearing asked me, and this is what students asked me, and this is what my family and friends asked me. What would I tell the world? What would I tell the world? Well, I would tell them that Indonesia is no longer a third world country. We are an emerging economy. I would tell them that Indonesia is the most surprising country in the world. And despite our trials and tribulations, we are happy people, we are proud people who cherish our heritage as much as we relish our future. I would tell them, if you put your money in Indonesia, it will grow faster than in most other places. I would tell them that Asia is not just China, it's not just Japan. Asia is also Indonesia, and that Indonesia will feature more prominently in the Asian century that we are having this time. I would tell them that 30% of the oxygen breathed by humanity comes from Indonesia, because we have 30% of the world's tropical rainforest, and that we provide critical environmental service to the world. And I would tell them that Indonesia is a remarkable country, a story of an epic revolution of the 20th century that has become the great story of the transformations in the 21st century. People, I remember Sukarno used to talk about Indonesia as banteng, right? That is the best analogy that he would make about Indonesia. But I would use a different analogy. I would say to people, if they ask me what is the best way to describe Indonesia, I would say Indonesia is like batik. What Pak Mil Salim is wearing, what my dad is wearing, is very unique. Look at every batik that you wear, no two batiks are the same. It is rich in texture, complex in character. It is traditional as well as modern. And all the patterns of batik make for a harmonious batik. It comes together by way of a delicate process. And most of all, batik is beautiful, resilient, and proud, just like you, just like my children, just like Indonesia. Thank you.